Hey guys, it's Anna. Welcome to my channel. Today's video, I am fulfilling a subscriber request. Hi Erin, if you're watching. Erin asked if I could film a video talking about my most simple fragrances in my collection versus the most complex. And instead of this being fragrances with the least amount of notes featured versus the most full, busy note breakdowns, because we know that notes highlighted is largely marketing and just what the brand has decided they want to feature rather than it being an ingredient list. I'm approaching this topic more in regards to the experience I get from these scents. So very interesting, complex, layered perfumes versus ones that just give you, a very straightforward experience. Like this is musk, for example. And of course, looking at my collection, you might have a different opinion on what may be more complex or more simple than what I'm going to show you, but this is what I feel right now. Before I get into the fragrances, I have a huge life update to share with you. Eric and I are engaged. We went to Kauai for vacation, a well-needed vacation. We had not gone on a proper vacation in literally like 4 years. We've of course gone on like little vacations to visit family, but we hadn't been on a vacation. It was wonderful, amazing. We were celebrating our anniversary. It was also his birthday within that same week, literally 2 days later. He proposed on our anniversary on the most beautiful beach. It's a really special spot, really secluded. You have to drive like 20 minutes and go off-roading to even get to the spot. It was during sunset, and he told me he'd been planning this for a year. He knew it was going to be on this day, and he absolutely killed it. It is the most beautiful ring I have ever seen. It could not be more us. He actually had a hand in designing my ring, so he reached out to a jeweler in Spain and he told them, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for. He wanted a ring that had this like cool molten gold kind of effect, and it was like wrapping around and holding the diamond, and he wanted a part of the diamond exposed underneath. He even got the ring box hand designed. He went above and beyond. So I feel incredibly lucky, not only because of the ring, but most importantly for the man that I am with. He is the most wonderful man and I love him so much. We have no idea as to when or where this wedding will be, so we'll see. I mean, this just happened. We got back a few days ago. We were there for about a week and a half. And if anyone's curious, because, we talk about fragrances here, when he proposed, I was wearing House of Beau Le Mar and Kayali Maldives in a Bottle Elaine Coco. So now transitioning into the topic of today's video, we're going to start with the most simple fragrances from my collection. So this is Milky Musk 39 from Par Le Mois de Parfum. And this has only musk and sandalwood mentioned. This is a fragrance that I always recommend to people if you like woodsy, clean, easy, natural smelling scents. It definitely falls into the Your Skin But Better category, but it's not like just musk. It's very woody and it smells like fresh sandalwood chips. It has a dryness, but it's very smooth. I don't get a milky lactonic presence from this, and I have definitely smelled more creamy sandalwoods than this, but it's also not too dry. It's not giving, for example, a Santal 33 like sandalwood. Perfectly unisex, earthy in a very clean way. If you want a fragrance that will leave you smelling good, but you don't want something perfumey, if you will, try this. It's very easy to layer with, not only because, it's nothing complex, but also musk and sandalwood goes with so much. You can wear it year round. It's not at all dark or heavy for warm months, and I get about 6 hours with a moderate projection. Then I have Tangerine Boy from Phlur, and this really does smell like fresh tangerine juice. When Eric and I were in Kauai, we were driving out of the neighborhood we were staying in, and we saw a little girl. She had a fruit stand set up and she was selling tangerines with her dad close by. So we pulled over the car, hopped out, and I'm like, we gotta have some of your tangerines. We picked up a few and Eric's unpeeling his in the car and it's just like spewing this, fresh citrus juice, and the car was just flooded with this smell. And I'm like, doesn't it literally smell like Tangerine Boy? And he's like, it does. So if you want tangerine juice with not much else to it, you gotta try this. Secondary to the tangerine, it does have lemon, adding to the brightness, adding to the tartness. There's a pinch of ginger in there. I really associate this scent with California, orange orchards, going to the pool for the day. It's a very bright, fun, juicy scent, and I get about 4 hours with a moderate projection. Next is Tahara Vanilla by Gulf Orchid, and I would describe this to be like a clean vanilla girl type scent. You can tell it's vanilla, but it is not gourmand in the slightest. It is not sugary. It gives it a very subtle, delicate sweetness. If you don't gravitate towards sweet perfumes, this will not be too sweet. It's clean, it's soapy, not in a harsh, abrasive way, in like a light, bubbly, like bubble bath, vanilla bubble bath scented kind of way. Fluffy, creamy, very powdery. If you don't like powdery perfumes, it's not for you. In the opening, I get just a really soft amount of a green pop from the green notes mentioned and Lily of the Valley. That is quite fleeting and, like I said, very subtle in comparison to the vanilla and the musk and the powdery notes. And then you get this really cozy warmth coming through from a sheer amber. This would make a great bedtime scent if you're into that kind of thing, or, you know, scent for just coming out of the shower. If you like fragrances that have a body care element to them, like you like scents that smell like a creamy body lotion, try this one out. And I get about 5 hours with a softer projection. This is my personal favorite out of the fragrances in the more simplistic category, Ella K Musk K. As the name would suggest, this is musk, and the other notes in here really complement it. If you've never smelled this fragrance, looking at the note breakdown, it can appear a bit unassuming, but this is so addictive. 10 out of 10 for me, utterly obsessed. I can reach for this, wear it every single day. Doesn't matter if I'm doing something more casual or I'm having a dressed up moment, it suits the vibe. It's very elegant and attractive, and it smells crisp and white. It's got fresh spiciness from pink pepper, powdery orris, dry cedar. It's one of my most clean smelling perfumes, and if I'm not in the mood for a particular fragrance profile, I can always depend on Musk K. Definitely signature scent worthy, and it gets so many compliments. Performance is really quite good. I get about 8 hours with a moderate projection. Next, Eau de Italy Morn to Dusk, and this is basically just a vanilla musk perfume. I don't smell any of the other notes. Very different to Tahara vanilla though. For example, this is a sweet vanilla. It is gourmand, it is powdery, sugary, light, fluffy, it's warm, and it's something I use a lot for layering. Anything that requires a boost of a sweet powdery vanilla, I grab this. This smells very innocent and girly to me. Like I picture a young ballerina smelling like this. It's kind of in the realm of like a Vanilla Bean Noel from Bath and Body Works, but not as dense, not as creamy, not quite as sweet. This is more refined, airy, powdery. And although it's a sweet vanilla, it never gets cloying, it never gets heavy. It's one of my lighter scents. I get about 4 hours with an intimate projection. Now, for the more complex fragrances in my collection, this was a harder list to put together because I have so many different scent profiles and I really can't, you know, compare when categories are so different. Like it's hard to judge. I can easily, you know, put two vanillas together and tell you, oh, this is more complex than this. So instead of this being like such an official list, it's more like these are complex. So we have Guidance by Amouage. Amouage as a whole, as a brand, they offer complex fragrances. They are certainly very niche and consistently going outside of the box. It is complex all around, but in particular, the opening is very unique because the notes, for me at least, they seem to pop individually, like I'm hit with them right after the other, like that scene from Ratatouille where he eats the grape and the cheese in one bite and he closes his eyes and then he sees like, you know, this fireworks show going on in his mind and it's like, boom, this flavor comes out, then ooh, I get this. That's what I get from this. So I individually get these pops of a thick pear puree, hazelnut, very, very creamy sandalwood, like one of the most creamy sandalwoods I've experienced. It's almost lactonic. Pop of osmanthus, pop of vanilla. And in that opening, it just shifts around and my nose picks up on one thing after the other. As it dries down, it smells like these ingredients were put into a blender. Smoothie consistency. I no longer smell the hazelnut. The florals blend into everything else. The sandalwood amplifies. The vanilla also warms up and becomes a bit more noticeable, and then the pear like blends in with the sandalwood and vanilla. This thing lasts. It sticks onto anything it touches and it will stay there until you forcibly remove it. You really don't need a 100 ml bottle. You can get yourself a travel spray and be covered. All day wear and very strong projection. Next I have Oro Verde from House of Bow. And again, this is a brand that has so many complex, unique fragrances. But I would say that Oro Verde out of my collection feels the most complex. I haven't experienced anything like this, and it is the one and only cannabis scent that I have fallen in love with. Didn't think it could happen, but it is in fact a part of my top 10 favorite perfumes I own. Both Eric and I love this scent. I would describe it as unisex leaning masculine. It smells so sexy and wild and adventurous in a bottle, but also so sophisticated, which sounds kind of confusing, like a cannabis sophisticated scent. It is though. It's very fresh, beautifully green. It also has tree moss and basil and like what just brings it all together and gives it like this addictive factor is this juicy watermelon. It's not like so obviously watermelon. This is no like Room 1015 Wave Child. It's not sweet, it's watery, it's fresh, almost more like towards the white part of the watermelon, but my gosh, it works. It smells mysterious, very alluring. It's my most complimented House of Bow, actually. People don't know what they're smelling when they come across this. It's truly a what is that kind of moment. It also has a good amount of Palo Santo, a musky ambergris. We have a bit of bergamot. It is a gorgeous, very powerful, impactful scent. I really don't understand how on earth they came to create this. Such a unique blend of notes, and the execution is masterful. Very special scent to me, and I get all day wear with a strong projection. And then this is Violet Shot from Olfactive Studio. I remember smelling this for the first time and I loved it immediately, but I was like really taking my time with it and picking it apart, piecing it together, trying to figure it out, if you will, trying to put imagery and like really understand what I was smelling. I really can't compare this to another fragrance I've experienced. This features a violet leaf note. It's fresh, green, watery, ozonic, a little bit of like a grass undertone, and there actually is a grass note mentioned in here, but if that turns you off, it doesn't smell like, you just freshly mowed your lawn. It's not loud, but I'm definitely transported to a garden setting. It makes me think of really early in the morning. Dew is covering all the plant life, and it's someone going into their garden with a leather-bound journal, and they're just really taking this time with themselves and writing anything that comes to mind, poetry, thoughts, journaling, writing a book, calendar, schedule, whatever it may be. I don't know, it smells contemplative. I believe there's a saffron in here, which is giving the scent that, bit of a leather feel that I'm picking up. And then there's just a touch of vanilla, adding a drop of sweetness. Other than that, the notes I'm not able to distinguish. Very unique blend, and I get all day wear with a moderate projection. This is Iris Cartagena from Bon Perfumer, my personal favorite from their brand. I believe this was marketed as a gourmand. It is much more than that. There's so much going on in this scent. It has a bit of booziness, it has a green pop, it has an earthy iris, the gourmand characteristics from tonka bean, cacao, vanilla, it's woody. It also has a little bit of coffee. So a lot of profiles wrapped in one to create a really beautiful fall winter scent. This smells like the month of October to me. It puts me in the mindset of Halloween, The trees are dropping their leaves, they're crunchy on the ground. And when Halloween comes around, you know, you have some kids that have accidentally spilled some chocolates on the pavement. So you get this smell and mix of like the dried leaves, you get the twigs, the woods, there's a chill in the air, and then the sweetness of the chocolate. It smells a little spooky. It's really good. I would say if you like earthy gourmands, try it. It's very unisex, and I get dry earthy elements as well as like a buttery creaminess coming through. There's sweetness, but it's not too sweet, not a true gourmand. It has depth, little dark touches. It's kind of hard to describe the smell because there's so many aspects going on. But you know, what it makes me feel and scenery wise, it's, you know, October. The earthy elements are coming through from a blend of petitgrain, papyrus, cedar, sandalwood, coffee. The coffee is in the background. It's supporting, so if you don't like a loud coffee scent, it's not that. Also soft on the green. To my nose, it's really an earthy iris with the woods blended with these gourmand elements. Powdery chocolate and a bit of a buttery vanilla. Outstanding release from them. I'm really looking forward to the weather cooling down so I can wear this. And I get all day wear with a moderate projection. Last but not least, this is another iris. Iris Malikan from Maison Crivelli. This is also green and earthy, but more. This is definitely more bold and out there compared to Iris Cartagena. And while this has a vanilla that takes on a creamy white chocolate tone, this is much less gourmand compared to Iris Cartagena. This has a very supple, smooth leather, amping up the cool factor, and it starts out like green with a bang. The galbanum, the herbal qualities, you definitely smell that. Very woody, there's cypress in here, and the orris certainly takes on a vegetal quality. It becomes more creamy and smoother as it dries. It's a very dynamic scent, not linear in the slightest. Definitely something you need to give a full day wear test before, you know, committing to a bottle, because, you know, you want to love your scent from beginning to end. At least I do. Some people are okay with like not enjoying the opening because they're like, the dry down's worth it. I want to like it the whole time. I don't want to have to like deal with something for a while. Like, no, I need to be smelling good around the clock. And I do love it from beginning to end. But it was definitely something to sit with for a while and discover, because when I first sprayed this, I'm like, what am I smelling? How do I feel about this? But I absolutely love it in its entirety. It's chic, sophisticated, cool, edgy, has a lot of power. It smells like a confident, dominant person. Totally unisex and just all around a masterful fragrance. And I get all day wear with a strong projection. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you like, I would love to see, like in the comments down below, include some of your more simple versus complex fragrances. I always think it's interesting to see people's tastes and a bit of their collection. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to see me in any more videos. I'd appreciate it so, so much. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.